Ever wondered what happened when Europeans first met Native Americans? Two completely different worlds met for the first time around 1492. What do you think happened? Before Europeans arrived, Native American societies were rich and varied, from the Iroquois in the Northeast, who formed complex political alliances and lived in organized longhouses, to the Pueblo peoples of the Southwest, who mastered dry farming with sophisticated irrigation systems. These communities were deeply connected to their lands. The Cherokee in the Southeast built intricate village societies based on hunting, fishing, and agriculture. Adding to this diversity, the Anasazi in the arid regions of the Southwest constructed cliff dwellings and developed water conservation techniques that speak to their deep environmental understanding. European countries had their own reasons for exploration. Spain wanted to expand its empire and spread Christianity, as shown by Queen Isabella's support for Columbus, documented in her letters. It is hoped that by God's assistance, some of the continents and islands in the ocean will be discovered. Portugal sought new maritime routes to the East Indies to avoid land routes dominated by others. England and France aimed to tap into the wealth of the New World and contested Spanish and Portuguese dominance. A lesser-known figure, John Cabot, an Italian navigator under the Commission of England, sought the Northwest Passage to Asia, which shows how different and similar exploration was. Exploration made the Columbian Exchange, a massive transfer of plants, animals, foods, and unfortunately diseases between the Old and New Worlds. Europeans introduced wheat, sugar, and horses, which changed Native American life. Native Americans introduced corn, potatoes, and tomatoes, which became staples in Europe. Tragically, diseases like smallpox, brought by the Europeans, devastated native populations, with up to 90% mortality rates. Economically, the introduction of silver and gold from the New World changed global trade and increased European economic power, but also caused inflation known as the Price Revolution, which changed European society. Native American responses varied greatly. The Comanche used the horse to become formidable warriors and traders in the southern plains. In contrast, tribes like the Pueblo resisted through revolts, as seen in the Pueblo Revolt of 1680 against Spanish religious oppression. Pope, a Pueblo religious leader, united various Pueblo communities in a coordinated rebellion that temporarily drove Spanish settlers out of modern-day New Mexico, which shows native toughness and strategy. Europeans didn't just explore, they settled and conquered. The Spanish Empire in the Americas clashed with Native Americans over religion, land use, and societal roles. Conflicts arose frequently, and land ownership views made them last. Environmental impacts lasted too, as European livestock and hunting changed the landscape, and new farming techniques led to soil depletion and altered ecosystems. The Transatlantic slave trade began as Europeans sought labor for their colonies, smashing African demographics and societies. Crops like sugarcane and tobacco required intensive labor and fueled this demand. The stories of people like Alada Aquino, an enslaved African who later wrote about his experiences, show the human costs of these economic demands. Beyond materials, languages mixed and religious practices blended. European missionaries converted many Native Americans, leading to unique syncretic or mixed religions, like Voodoo and Santeria. Artistic styles from both continents influenced each other, which deepened cultural expressions. Today, the consequences of these centuries-old interactions are still evident. Issues like land rights and cultural preservation continue to affect Native American communities. The story of these encounters reminds us of how deeply our histories are intertwined and how past events shape the present.